Before money existed, humans already competed for status. In ancient tribes, higher status meant survival, protection, influence, and access to resources. The human brain evolved to constantly compare social position because rank once determined life or death. Those with higher status had better chances of reproduction, safety, leadership, and respect inside the tribe. Thousands of years later, civilization changed completely, but human psychology barely evolved. Today, people no longer fight with swords or kingdoms. They fight with attention, appearance, luxury, influence, and visibility. The battlefield changed. Human nature didn't. Every phone screen became a stage. Every social platform became an arena. Millions now spend their lives trying to prove they matter to strangers they will never meet. Humans don't only want comfort, they want significance. They want to feel seen. And the fear of becoming invisible silently controls far more human behavior than most people realize. Modern society transformed status into a global competition. Social media allows people to display wealth, beauty, lifestyle, success, and influence every second of the day. Expensive watches, penthouses, luxury vacations, designer clothes, and supercars became symbols of importance. Many people are no longer simply living their lives, they are performing them. But think about it for a moment. If nobody could see your lifestyle, would you still want it? That question alone reveals how deeply status controls modern behavior. Most people are not buying luxury because they truly love the object itself. They are buying social permission to feel important. A Rolex is not only a watch. A Lamborghini is not only a car. These objects communicate power, relevance, exclusivity, and success. Humans naturally crave social elevation because the brain associates status with value and survival. The modern world understands this perfectly. Entire industries are built around making people feel inadequate first, and then selling them an identity to escape that insecurity. The human brain reacts strongly to status because recognition creates emotional rewards. Approval increases dopamine and reinforces behavior. Being admired creates the illusion of importance, power, and control. This is why status symbols feel addictive. They temporarily satisfy emotional needs far deeper than material comfort. Humans don't chase status because they love luxury. They chase it because they fear becoming invisible. Attention became emotional currency. Validation became psychological fuel. And modern society learned how to monetize both. This is why some people become obsessed with appearance, followers, wealth, or reputation. Deep down, status offers something emotionally seductive, the feeling of mattering. But validation from the outside never lasts long. The brain adapts quickly. What once felt extraordinary becomes normal. Then, the cycle begins again. Bigger house, more followers, more money, more attention. And yet many still feel empty after achieving everything they once believed would finally make them feel complete. The obsession with status is not modern. Ancient emperors wore gold crowns, built giant monuments, and organized massive spectacles to display dominance. Roman elites used luxury to separate themselves from ordinary citizens. Public admiration became proof of power. The crowd's attention was everything. Modern society behaves exactly the same way. Penthouses replaced palaces, supercars replaced horses, social media replaced the Roman arena. Rome never disappeared. The arena simply became digital. Today, influencers compete for attention the same way emperors once competed for glory. Millions watch, admire, compare, and imitate. The technology evolved. Human psychology barely changed. Ancient emperors wanted the admiration of thousands. Modern culture allows ordinary people to seek validation from millions. Every luxury purchase and every carefully edited image silently asks the same question: do I matter now? Luxury promises happiness, but often delivers temporary emotional stimulation instead. The excitement fades quickly because the brain adapts to new levels of comfort and status. What once felt extraordinary soon becomes normal. Then the mind searches for something bigger, rarer, more expensive, and more exclusive. This endless cycle creates permanent dissatisfaction. How many things have you desperately wanted, only to stop caring about them weeks later? Humans are incredibly good at adapting. The object changes. The emptiness often stays the same. Some people spend millions decorating a life they secretly hate because the real goal was never peace, it was validation. Luxury can impress people temporarily, but it cannot permanently repair insecurity. The modern economy profits enormously from this cycle. Insecurity became one of the most profitable industries on earth. The more people compare themselves to others, the more they consume trying to close the emotional gap. Humans naturally compare themselves to others because the brain constantly measures social position. The problem is that modern life exposes us to millions of people online every single day. Someone will always appear richer, smarter, more attractive, more successful, or more admired. Constant comparison slowly destroys satisfaction and peace of mind. Social media transformed comparison into a full-time psychological experience. Many people wake up and immediately begin measuring their lives against curated illusions created by strangers online. And the dangerous part is that most of those lifestyles are performances themselves. People rarely post loneliness, insecurity, debt, anxiety, or emotional emptiness. They post highlights designed to create admiration. Modern society turned insecurity into an economy. Platforms profit from attention. Brands profit from inadequacy. Influencers profit from aspiration. And millions became trapped chasing lifestyles they believe will finally make them feel worthy. Many people who achieve high social status eventually discover an uncomfortable truth. Attention does not automatically create connection. Luxury does not remove emptiness. Fame does not eliminate insecurity. Behind expensive lifestyles often hides isolation, pressure, anxiety, and fear of losing relevance. Some people become successful and still feel worthless when nobody is watching. Because if your entire identity depends on external admiration, silence becomes terrifying. The world celebrates visible success, but rarely talks about the emotional cost behind it. The pressure to constantly maintain an image can slowly disconnect people from themselves. Some spend years building a life admired by everyone while privately feeling emotionally exhausted inside it. For many people, status becomes a psychological prison disguised as success. Entire industries profit from human insecurity and comparison. Luxury brands, influencers, advertising campaigns, social media platforms, and entertainment industries understand the psychology of status extremely well. They no longer sell only products, they sell identity. Every advertisement quietly asks the same question: who will you become if you buy this? Influencers don't sell lifestyles, they sell envy at scale. Brands don't only sell fashion, they sell belonging, admiration, exclusivity, and emotional aspiration. The modern economy profits more from insecurity than confidence, because insecure people consume more. The more uncertain people feel about themselves, the easier they become to manipulate emotionally. Most people are not buying luxury. They are buying emotional reassurance and social permission to feel important. Real power is often quiet. Truly secure people usually stop needing constant validation from others. They focus less on appearance and more on freedom, peace, autonomy, purpose, and emotional stability. They no longer buy things to impress strangers. Instead, they build lives that genuinely satisfy them internally. The most powerful people in the world are often those who no longer depend emotionally on external approval, because real confidence does not need an audience. There is a massive difference between appearing successful and actually feeling fulfilled. Many people spend years optimizing perception while neglecting their inner lives completely. But eventually, external admiration becomes emotionally exhausting when it replaces genuine self-worth. The moment someone stops performing for society, something changes psychologically. They become calmer, more independent, less controlled by comparison. Humans will probably always desire status because it is deeply connected to biology, hierarchy, and survival. But understanding the game changes everything. The moment you realize how much of modern life is driven by comparison and validation, you begin seeing the world differently. Are your goals truly yours, or were they programmed into you by the world around you? The most expensive prison in the world is needing strangers to admire your life, and millions of people unknowingly live inside that prison every single day. Real freedom begins when you stop performing for the world, when your identity no longer depends on attention, approval, or comparison. Something powerful happens psychologically. You stop chasing visibility and start chasing peace, because in the end, status can buy attention, but it cannot buy inner peace. Costly minds.